last 2 years, Joo Fuel has been the only supplement I've consumed. It's helped me stay in shape now that my competitive career is finished. If you've been waiting to try Joo, the wait is over. Joo has now teamed with Walmart, bringing clean fuel to the entire nation. Joo Fuel is loaded with all the good stuff and none of the bad. And I'm talking no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. Joo Fuel is now available in Walmart nationwide. Products available at your local Walmart are Joo Malt, ready to drink, Joo Malt powder, and Joo pre-workout. How convenient. Guys, the time is now. Consider trying some of my favorites like Joo Go and Joo Hydrate. You can even do it online. Use code CHAEL30 at JooFuel.com or just stop by your local Walmart and get your hands on some Joo ASAP. Don't wait, might not last. Fuel up with Joo Fuel and crush your goals. Now there's no excuse for not having clean fuel. Guys, I want you to go get Joo Fuel today at Walmart. Joe Rogan has put out a correction to a story that we knew needed corrected. Now, all that happened, and this is real simple, guys. Joe, while doing the Joe Rogan program, told a guy, I heard Jon wants $30 million to fight Aspinall, and I heard that the UFC is going to give it to him. And the level of silliness, I was truly blown away by this. I was truly blown away that one, it would ever be advertised. Like, if you had that kind of inside information, you don't know what Jon Jones made in his last fight against Stipe, and it was a month ago, right? You don't know what he fight before that against Surreal. I'm just sharing, like, there's a reason you don't have that info. And now you're talking about a check 5 times the biggest check of all time. Like, to disclose that alone was a surprise. But to believe that is foolish. That's insane. I mean, that is an insane suggestion. Okay, guys, we have a contract. Okay, I don't know what the contract calls for, but I'll estimate this fight be about $12 million paycheck to Jon Jones. Biggest check ever written. But you have a contract, okay? So now we're over here somewhere. And then we have the biggest number Jon Jones could think of, which was $30 million. You guys ever done this, by the way? Let me play a game with you. Now, I want you to play along. This is very legitimate. I want you to play along. I'm going to hire you. You're going to come work for me at Bad Guy Inc. And I'm going to pay you whatever you want to get paid. So tell me your number. How much money do you want to work at Bad Guy Inc. for 1 year? Go ahead. Biggest number you can think. You tell me a number. What do you want to be paid? Now, a lot of you probably say, well, it's a year, and I don't know how much time he's going to put in. But you probably started thinking like this. You probably started breaking it down just a little bit, and you probably thought, well, old Chael's got some money I could probably get him for, and then you had a number. But you live somewhere else, you're going to have to move. It's this whole relocate thing. Some of you would have said 100 grand. Other ones of you would have loved it, want to come hang out with me, and I appreciate that very much, but you still had a big number. Some of you would have said 80 grand. There's probably not a single one of you that said $1 million. And why on earth would you? I said there's no limit. So why would you say $1 million? Why would you say $10 million? Why would you say $1 billion? Why would you say 10 billion? I told you there's no limit. So whatever the biggest number which is probably trillion, is what the answer should have been. But hold on, I realize that game is silly. I'm just proving a point to you because you just played it. Okay, great. Jon Jones played the same game. He threw out a number that was the biggest number that he could think of. And Jon was very specific as to where his mind was working. The night before was a boxing match, which got reported that Mike Tyson got $20 million. It was reported that his opponent, Jake Paul, got $40 million. And Jon was actually discussing that. Now, Mike did get $20 million. Jake did not get $40 million, but this is how boxing works, right? 2 guys come out and tell a lie. Okay, great. So Jon went right in between. Said $30 million. Okay, great, but I'm letting you know, for Joe to believe he got $30 million, okay, we're between a contract and the biggest number a guy can think of. Between a contract, okay, these are our borders. And the biggest number that came out of somebody's mouth, and Joe thought we settled on the biggest number that came out of a guy's mouth. It's a really weird thing to get wrong, to believe in the first place, or to re-report. It really is very strange that Joe did that. But Joe's now come out and he fixed it. He said, I'm an idiot. And he said, it was a fake rumor by me. But then Joe said something else. And I really liked it. I really liked it because it's so simple and it's right in front of us. Joe said, Jon Jones should be thinking about retirement. This is a quote by Joe. He's going to have to retire someday, and I'm not saying that I think he should retire. I'm saying it's good that he's thinking about retiring. Okay, I can live with all that. But then here's the gem. Rogan says Jon Jones can come back at any time. He can retire and come back at any time. That's Jon Jones. And as simple as that is, guys, I had not considered it. When I'm breaking down all the math, I am more than happy to tell you guys and even report to you guys that it is going to be Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall for the undisputed championship of the world. I go even further to let you know that's probably going to be Jon's last fight. That's a speculation. But what Jon was up against, and the reason that I'm so confident to tell you guys this, there's only one other option, which is fight nobody. There is not a different offer that comes in for Jon. And any champion, any sitting reigning champion, either gender in any division right now, if they refuse to fight a somebody, they would be given somebody else. Jon, because of where he's at, and because of the state of that division, can either fight. He can either fight Aspinall, or he can fight nobody. Between those two choices, I'm confident in telling you Aspinall. Jon does not have enough money to walk away. It's just the truth. But I hadn't considered there is actually a third option, isn't there? It's the one Joe Rogan just talked about. He can do them both. He can retire and he can fight Aspinall. He can retire as a way of not fighting Aspinall, let 2 years go by. Whoever in the hell has the belt by then, which will not be Tom Aspinall, whoever's got the belt by then, Jon could come right back in and go out and compete with him. And you know what? This has been suggested twice in the last month, and both suggestions I love. The return of Demetrius Johnson against Pantoja. Now, Demetrius versus Pantoja doesn't do a lot for me. The return of Demetrius against Pantoja, I love it. Guys, you were not dying to see Amanda Nunes. You were not dying to watch her take on Kayla Harrison. There was a time when that could have happened. You didn't campaign for it. There was a time when Bellator was putting on these kinds of fights at that weight class, and they would have signed her. You never even asked for her to leave the UFC to go over to Bellator. You never asked about it. You didn't really care. I didn't either. And now the outcome of that match is very obvious, right? The girl that's out there not doing it is not coming back and beating the girl that's active and busy. The outcome is now very obvious, but I still want to see it more than I ever did. Because of the return of Amanda. The return of Demetrius. And Joe Rogan is right. Jon Jones can walk for now. Jon is very known to put time in between fights. If time went by, a year, 3 years, if Tom was still champion and decisive and clear, if Tom wasn't champion at all, Jon Jones's next fight, make no mistake, would be for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Joe, as simple as it is, did show us another option. It's not just fight Tom or don't fight anybody. It could be don't fight Tom right now, wait a little while and return, but he will return for a world championship. That point should not be missed.